You know what? We're almost out of time. I want to show. I want you to pick what you think we should show. Like, should we skip the show and move on to some of your paintings, like the grid in the Duomo, or do you want to talk about Awaiting the Change? Or
let's talk a little bit about Awaiting the Change. That's a nice painting.
Yeah, that's a beautiful. It's a great painting.
Yeah. Awaiting the Change, that's an older piece.
Okay.
So again,
is this one of the three that you were originally thinking about putting in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's approximately 5.5 feet high.
Okay.
By 4 feet wide.
Right. Yeah, it's in the show on an easel.
On an easel, which is different in that sense in terms of the installation. But I think the colors are beautiful myself. I have sort of veered away from that in recent.
We know you're going into black and white.
Yeah, but it depicts a bottom feeding fish, such as a flounder. You'll see the two eyes up on the top part of it, and it also shows the figure of a human figure superimposed inside the body of the flounder, which is somewhat embryonic, but also looks adult at the same time. And then on both sides, I simply put my hands into some, I forget the color, but it's a blue turquoise-like color. And I put my hands in it, a bit of my wrists and arm, and this is oil paint and wax, by the way. And starting from the top, I just scraped them on both sides, coming down the entire image until I reached the end. Right. So there are sort of three things. It's all evolutionary oriented in itself, and this is interesting. I painted this a long time ago.
Yeah, and you know, to me it also has the same kind of shape about that shaman that you're talking about from the caves, the Neolithic caves, and yet it looks like an embryo.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, so and it's interesting too, because if you remember the bear piece that we showed earlier, then
it could be a bear. That's right.
That bear was the shaman superimposed inside of it.
Right.
So. Interesting.
Yeah.
How the subconscious works.
And it's really you.
Yeah.
It really gets to you. But I would really like to show.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, like this. Well, let's see which we pick.
How about
affirmation? Yeah, that's a great painting.
Okay, let's show affirmation.
Let's do affirmation. That's great. That's huge.
Yeah.
How big is that?
Yeah, that's 6 feet by 4 feet.
Okay.
6.5. No, it's not huge. It's large. It's a little over 6 feet, 6.5 feet.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty big. You have to have a big wall.
Yeah. And what were you thinking about?
Affirmation. It's a statement about having arrived in an evolutionary sense. So that central figure is emerging from the river and coming up, you know, and doing this with the.
I think you're talking about Mythic River.
No.
Affirmation?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. They are related.
It's in my head. I spent a lot of time on that piece. Affirmation, yeah. And having arrived, yet still very fragmented.
Okay.
You know, so not quite there yet.
Is that a commentary on artists?
Artists and human race.
And we're here, but we're always thinking, always changing, always.
Yeah. No, we haven't. I mean, has evolution stopped? Have we reached the final stage?
No, but I guess I'm thinking more personally. Are we looking for affirmation?
Oh. Yeah, well, I was in that painting. I thought I had arrived. There was a point in my life where I was feeling great and about myself, about my work, and I took a deep breath. I'm going to do this piece. And you know, if you look very closely at the bottom part of the painting, just above the clay fragments that clay chips that run across the bottom of it, and just above that, there's a series of images that relate to caves that may look like caves in and of themselves.
And there we are, back to that cake. This has been so exciting. It went too fast.
Yeah.
There's so many more things I would like to talk to you about. I know. It's unbelievable. Past. We went past. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome. My pleasure, Gigi.
I just love your work. Great. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Of affirmations.
Thank you, Gigi. Thank you very much. My pleasure.
And thank you for watching.